I have been receiving communication very clear. And just like the other lady, I'm also an immigrant single woman in Canada, 50 years. I have been, just like she said, basically following the instructions of higher intelligence, yeah? And I was not even religious, but I started to meditate at 1970. When I arrived, I took a transcendental meditation course, and then I did hatha yoga, and I never stopped. But for me, I have been having experiences with dolphins when I swim with them or when I am in near proximity. And in 1987, when I was sailing to Santorini, I had most likely walk-in experience because otherwise I could not explain it. And then later on, as I was gathering information, it all seemed to be as as if that could be it. But it happened to me every time I swim with dolphins on a big island and spent hours under the water, yeah? So I just wanted to ask, is there any connection between extraterrestrials? Because there's, just like you said, so much love, so
Yeah.
much guidance, so much clarity, so much beauty and protection, and um, beyond the
Yeah.
ordinary ways and words.
Yeah, absolutely. It goes beyond our five physical senses. There's something extraordinary about these kind of experiences that are hard to put into words because there's nothing to relate in the common vernacular to describe what it's like we're experiencing. But as you talk and struggle with relaying exactly what it is you have experienced, but yet it's so deep and such a loving feeling. um, I can relate, and that's what's so wonderful about meeting people like you, is I feel like I've found a member of my community that can get me, that doesn't think I'm weird or I'm crazy or I'm hallucinating. Because you've had
Yep.
your own experience and you can relate to mine. And I really think that's one of the most valuable aspects of this community that we're establishing together, is that we know this is real, we know it's a good thing, it's a important thing, and that if only we could share that experience or encourage others to be inquisitive and to find this experience for themselves, we know it can transform the world into a very beautiful, bright future. And I think this is what effectively ascension is all about, is
Yep.
discovering our commonality and this rich um, uh, reality and experience that's much more than just the physical experience. So yeah, I absolutely uh, understand what you're sharing, and as far as the connection to extraterrestrial intelligence, what becomes very difficult to explain to people is before my experience, I assumed there were only uh, extraterrestrials from other star systems, that they were physical like us, they were just technically advanced, culturally advanced. They had interstellar technology that allowed them to get from point A to point B over vast distances very quickly. And that's how they were coming to us. They were just much more advanced, but it's much more complex than that. The fact is that while that is true, I do believe that there are advanced physical ETs with spaceships that can travel vast distances. There are also extra dimensionals or ultra dimensional beings that are not physical beings. They have the ability to appear to us in the physical, like Tejbar did, but when he appeared, it was clear he was not physical. He was a light being. I could see, with sparkly lights, and he was glowing in the dark, and there were parts of his body that were semi-transparent. So he looked more like a ghost or a hologram. If I hadn't prepared myself, he would have really scared me if I wasn't ready and kind of open to whatever was going to happen at that moment. And that was the beauty of my experience, that I did know that, I was expecting a physical ET at the most to show up. But when it was a light being, I'd heard references to light beings before, so it didn't freak me out. But then when he walked into me and I felt that merging of his body with me, that was freaky. But now I can share that experience, and hopefully others will have the the ability to stay calm, because the consequence, the outcome of that experience was so beautiful and so uplifting. And I can't recommend it highly enough to other people. So that's my answer about the ET. And it could very well be our mother or our grandmother who has passed on. That could be, one of these orbs that's visiting us. And are they an extraterrestrial? It depends. If they've gone off to Alpha Centauri and then back, that does that make them an extraterrestrial? I don't know. But the point is that they're extra or ultra dimensional beings, and they are able to watch us, and they care about us, and they can,
Answer us
they can enter you, absolutely.
and
And
answer.
answer and put ideas into your head. I think that that's a possibility. Sometimes you hear about people, all of a sudden getting an epiphany. That might be a loved one who's trying to answer a question for you, or set you on a path, or on a, get you to think about something that could be very helpful for you at that moment.
Thank you.
Awesome, Veronica. Yeah, and I would encourage you to really, if you're interested, to really look into dolphins, because they're one of the most intelligent species on the planet. They work with frequencies. There's been fascinating research with us being able to decode some of what they're saying and stuff. So it's kind of mirroring our experiences now. It's like how do we communicate across species and across things? So it's quite beautiful.